Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for those of you that submitted the assignment yesterday. Appreciate that. Looked like, for the most part, you guys were able to use the identity sheet and refer to that and kind of look at my notes and the video and kind of work through these problems. So we're still using the identity sheet today. We're just doing something a little different, something that we did kind of when this all started, was verifying trig identities. Okay, so we know the identities are given to us. We know that we have the sine, cosine, and tangent. I also pointed out yesterday that cosine has a couple different variations, and this is where we might use those other two. Yesterday we kind of just focused on the top one, and that works. All right, that works. When you do the problems like we did yesterday, you could use any of them, but it seems the top one is probably the easiest and like the cleanest one to solve. For verifying though, you got to use the one that's the most appropriate. So the worksheet here only has 5 questions. I'm only going to do 2 of them, and then I'd like for you to try some. And like I said, just try to do it. This goes back to when we verified before. You got to try something and see where you get. I think it might look a little awkward or you might be a little uncomfortable at first, but the more you do it, the better off you'll be. So we're not going to touch the right side of these equations. That's what we're trying to get the left side to equal. So I'm trying to take 1/2 times 1 minus cosine 2x, and I'm trying to somehow get it to equal sine squared x, right? So cosine 2x is a double angle, right? 2 times angle x. Over here, you just see it's 2 times angle A, but it could be anything. 2 times angle B, angle Y, whatever. So here's our double angle. Now, we're going to use one of these. All right, we're going to put one of these into the problem. We're going to substitute one of those in. And you think, okay, well, if I need to get sine squared, I probably don't want to put like another cosine in the problem, whether it's here or there. So I think I'm going to just use this bottom one. I'm going to use 1 minus 2 sine squared A, right, and see what happens. And the reason why I'm saying choose that one is because if I just want to end up with sine, I don't want to have anything in my equation that has cosine. So it's 1. I haven't used this one yet. It's this one right here. So 1 minus. Now I'm going to actually substitute that in, right? Cosine 2x is the same thing as 1 minus 2 . All right, sine squared x. So work inside the parentheses. We have a negative here that we'll distribute. Now, because it's not the easiest to write on this, I'm just going to kind of erase some stuff, and I think you'll be able to follow along. So if I distribute this negative, right, my signs are just going to change. So it's going to become a negative 1 plus 2 sine x, right? And if I continue solving in here, now I have 1 minus 1. Well, that's just 0. And now we have 1/2 times 2 sine x. 1/2 times 2 is just going to be 1. So we did it. We just verified by looking at our identities, putting the appropriate one in, and then just simplifying, right? Adding, subtracting, multiplying. 1/2 times 2, like I said, is just 1. So we're left with just sine squared x. So we verified. Okay. The next one I'll do, let's see here. I'll do number 3 because 3 is a little longer than number 2. All right. Okay. So here we have 2 double angles, right? The numerator is a double angle, and this piece in the denominator is also a double angle. So I'm going to replace the numerator with what I see up top, right? 2. Trying to write a little smaller here and cleaner, which means it takes a little longer. 2 sine x times cosine x. All right, just use the identity for that one. We'll do the same thing in the denominator. Okay, now we have a couple different options. But again, I'm thinking of the one that would make the most sense. If I need cotangent, all right, I know that cotangent is cosine over sine. So maybe, I have a cosine up top. Maybe if I put a sine in the bottom, somehow it'll work out in the end, right? If I put another cosine in the bottom, I don't know if that's the best way to go. So what I'm going to try is the same one that we just used in the last problem. So again, I'm going to try 1. And look, you might try it and realize that it didn't work out as well as you'd like, so you might have to redo it. So a lot of this could be a little trial and error here. And that's part of the reason why I'm only going to do 2 of these. I'm going to let you guys try to do the other 3 on your own, and it's okay to kind of fail at first. If you're unsure, just try something, and that's going to help you work through this and help you fully understand. All right, the next step would be similar to what I did in the last problem, right? Distribute. But again, I'm just going to erase. So I'm going to distribute this negative, right? So now I have a -1. I'm going to change the signs down here. And this is going to be a +2. So 1 minus 1 goes away. Again, I'm just going to erase, guys, because it's just a lot easier. Hopefully you're doing it and kind of following along, and you're not erasing. You're writing each step. I think that would help. So at this point, I distributed the negative because look, stop, rewind it, pause it, whatever you need. 1 minus 1 is just 0. Taking that away. No need to really have this positive sign there anymore. Okay, and now look, now we have 2 sine x, cosine x, so just multiplication up top, just multiplication down in the bottom in the denominator here. And now we're going to reduce. The 2's can cancel out. All right, this sign can cancel, and this was a sine squared x, which I can cancel that out now. And all that's left is cosine in the numerator and sine in the denominator. Okay, and that's cotangent. Okay, look, guys, so a couple things. Watch the video, take notes, use this worksheet, try the other 3, submit the other 3 in when I give you the time today. In addition to that, let me know if you have any questions, and maybe I've done optional Zooms in the past, optional extra credit Zooms. What we can maybe do just to kind of catch up, see everybody, maybe we'll make a kind of more of a mandatory Zoom next week. Okay, so we'll drop out tomorrow, but get this work done and let me know if you have any questions. All right, guys, talk to you soon. Enjoy your day.